What up, 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 what up? Happy Thanksgiving weekend to everybody. It's your boy Rod and Don. It's the Brooklyn Bears Balls. Blah, 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 blah. Let's start that over. It's the Brooklyn Bears Ball Sports Show. Okay, that sounded a little bit better. Yo, a lot of turkey, bro. A lot of food. We got in, you know what I'm saying? It was a good Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving, America. God is good to all of us indeed. Much love to the families and everybody had a good time. And so listen, man, we got some more football, right? Because, you know, what's Thanksgiving without family, food, and football? And we got a lot of that to talk about. Me and Don are winners again this week. So, you know, it should be another kind of light. We know, even though when we win, we'll still find something to kind of rag each other about, nevertheless, even in a victory. But nevertheless, here we are today, Brooklyn Bears Ball Sports Show. Y'all know what to do. Like, share, comment, Facebook, YouTube, shouting out the families out there. What's good, everybody? Thank y'all for being with us. We do have a special guest again today, and he'll join us a little bit later and talk some more sports and some more football. But my boy Don is in the building, and he's donned with the attire of his Bay Area team there. What's going on, D?
Oh, man, it's all good. It was a great weekend. We'll discuss when the show starts our Thanksgiving traditions. I had a different Thanksgiving tradition this year, and it was interesting, but we'll share it once we start, man. But without further ado, let's get into it. Week 12. They started. It was a really good week for sports. There's a big game, college game that's coming on in about 15 minutes. Michigan and Ohio State. That's going to be an excellent game.
Oh yeah.
But before we do that, let's talk about how was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was good, bro. We spent some time with the sisters. The spread was off the chain. Yeah, we had a lot of grub. From obviously the turkey, the ham, the ribs, the mashed potato. Not mashed potatoes. Oh Jesus, potato salad. My bad. Of course, we had the yams flowing. The stuffing was popping. It was so much food. The chicken. We had every kind of meat you could think of.
Okay, so let me stop you right there.
Okay,
There is a big debate, huge debate about stuffing and dressing. In your opinion, can you tell me what the difference is? Because I think people get caught up in the terms like stuffing and dressing. So tell me in your opinion what stuffing and dressing is. I thought for the most part it's basically the same, but I know people think that stuffing is in the turkey and dressing
that's
is
what
more
I was gonna say.
stovetop. So what do you say?
I mean, that's what people say. I mean, if stuffing is what's inside the turkey, if anything made on top of the stove, then that would be dressing. But I think even when you think about it culturally, I think like I was brought up with everything being stuffing. We never called anything dressing. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So in the culture, everything was stuffing. We never said dressing. You know what I mean? I don't know that I don't know. That might be a different ethnic.
It might be regional. There. No, I think it's on the flip side.
Is it on the flip side?
The flip
is it more
side,
regional than ethnical?
Because I think that people, I come across people that say dressing, right? Yeah. And growing up, it was always stuffing, but we didn't. My mom never put it in the turkey. Never. There was nothing stuffed in the turkey.
That was a side dish. Always.
And I will say this, whether you call it stuffing or dressing, I will put my mom's stuffing up against anyone's.
Your mom is she's a beast, bro. No doubt.
So I'll be like, yo, listen, and I know people get caught up in the whole stuffing and dressing and all of that stuff, but so it's basically depends on how you the description you had growing up.
Cool. That's what I say. So stuffing all day. Shout out to the stuffing eaters and
the dressing and the dressing
crew
if it should be dressing, then fine.
Just make sure it's good. Make sure it ain't dry.
Right. Just make sure there's stuff that shouldn't be in it that's in it. Right.
That's
right. You can't add certain stuff to it.
You can't add certain ingredients to that. No sir. Right. No ma'am.
But listen, I'll say this. Mm-hmm. My family is 3,000 miles away. So I wasn't able to enjoy my mom's stuffing and, all the stuff. But we got invited to some friend's house from Detroit. And
Oh, whoa, really? Oh, boy. Whoa.
Yeah. friend of the show, DeMarvelous, his family.
Oh, DeMarvelous. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
and
yeah.
Man. And his
Did they throw
family
you
was
out?
in
They
town.
didn't kick you out, right? They didn't.
No. Even after my Detroit comments, but let me tell you, I was looking and making sure my kids and everybody was safe, because when I started going in on Detroit, they was like, "Yo, listen, we don't care. We don't care about Detroit's record. They haven't been good in a long time." So that was hearing it from real deal Detroit people that they're happy that the team has made such a huge improvement.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: we had a fantastic. I mean, the spread was crazy. They had everything. Anything you can think of. The chefs threw down. Dee's mom-in-law and wife, and I mean, it was crazy. It was stuff I've never had before. I think a Detroit tradition or Midwest tradition is to have I think corned beef also. So we had that. Of course, we had all the regular stuff, corned beef, turkey, and all. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah. But something interesting. This is the first time I had it, and I didn't have it there, but we had earlier Thursday or around the same time, I had Seahawk. That was the first time I had Seahawk. I haven't had Seahawk, but we had Seahawk on Thursday. That was an interesting. Why are you looking over there? Hey, listen, we had Seahawk.
Yeah,
I had. It was a build up to get to that point.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be some kind of.
We hadn't had Seahawk in the game. We had Seahawk on Thursday.
Yeah, it tastes pretty.
And
good,
it's not. It's not a delicious.
Well, I'm glad that you did, because we're gonna have some Seahawk too next week. So I'm glad. Yeah, glad you let me know.
I'll tell you how to prepare it. You have to have a good running back.
Okay.
You don't have that, so there's gonna be, you're gonna put raisins in it. It's gonna be something that doesn't need to be there. So we prepared it, we marinated it overnight, and ultimately it was great. It was usually it's gamey, but not this time. It was tender. We just tenderized it. So we'll leave you some leftovers.
Either way, we're gonna bake it the way we like it in Dallas. It'll be in Dallas. So our chefs are gonna cook it up.
Deep fry that.
Yeah, that's right. What we're gonna do, Seahawk. Texas style. There you go. That's right. There you go.
Oh man. Okay, so let's get into the slate of games, man. We'll start off with Detroit. I'm gonna take it easy on them because I had such a great Thanksgiving. I mean, it was a lot of love. We played, and of course, we had to play some cards. Of course, there was some spades played.
Yeah,
and in that house, I was undefeated. Now, I did take an L starting off, but that was because I hadn't played in a while. And then once I shook it off and got back to my winning ways, I don't think I lost again. It was just like, I just ran the table. It was, and they were looking for, I was like, anybody. I said, yo, it was almost like white men can't jump. I'll take anybody in this, anybody. I was almost going to say, hey, Don, come. He's never played before. He's never even seen cards. Come on, play. Be my partner. Just to balance out, the competitive advantage. But it was all good. It was a lot of fun. Packers and Lions. Now, prior to this, I did predict that they were on upset alert. And it's really no surprise because I think if you apply pressure to them, it's one of those teams that is they are a really good team. They have a good defense, but I think Jared Goff in certain instances, he can get rattled. And once he gets rattled, he's one of those quarterbacks that, if he's in a flow, watch out. Because they got, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Of course, they got Montgomery. They got Gibbs. They have a great team. They have a good defense. Yeah. But if you rattle Goff, he is the main focus of it, because the run game, the defense is going to do what they do. But if he gets rattled in the beginning, I don't think he doesn't shake from being rattled. He just stays rattled. He doesn't get into a rhythm, and then there you have it. So the Packers, played a perfect game. If you think about it, I mean, Jordan Love looked amazing. He was changing arm angles. He looked like he had almost like Aaron a swag like Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, like you can tell that he's been around him. He's seen him in practice. He's learned. Now, obviously, you have to have the ability to do this, right? So it's not all Aaron Rodgers, but some of that stuff does rub off, because if he couldn't do it, he wouldn't be able to do it, right? But to see the different arm angles, to see the strength in his arm, the mobility, I think it was exciting, and ultimately they were victorious. Now, thanks to Green Bay, we are now the number 2 seed, and we're coming for that number 1 spot. We haven't stopped. We're not satisfied with the number 2 seed. We'll talk a little bit more about the 49ers down a little bit later in the show. But it was great to see. We're 8-3. They're still 8-3. So nothing to sneeze at. They're definitely making the playoffs, and they're probably going to host a game. But not being the number 2 seed, not having a guarantee, and depending on how it shakes. Now, I think they have a pretty favorable schedule moving forward, but just in case they don't, it's going to be interesting how everything shapes up. What do you say?
Well, I mean, when you talk about their schedule, just to quickly chime in on that. So they got New Orleans and Chicago, right? Chicago again gave them a tough. That was a tough out last week. Played them really well. Divisional game, because the NFC North is always like that, right? It's almost like now that Rodgers is gone, it's a lot of parity. The playing field is even, so you can expect more tighter games because there's no one that really sets the other team apart from one another as far as that one player like Aaron Rodgers has for the last, whatever it's been, 15 years. But they've got New Orleans, Chicago, Denver, Minnesota, then of course Dallas, which is their toughest game, and then Minnesota again. So, but Detroit, right? You just don't know what you might get. They're good. They're a good team, but they can be inconsistent at times in terms of the way that they play. They still have a really good defense, and I was shocked if they lost that game in the manner in which they did. I really thought that they were I picked them to win. I thought they would win because the Packers are a very inconsistent team. But what I loved about what the Packers brought was their defense. They brought the wood, man. Those boys was hitting. They was tackling. They was all over the place. 3 fumbles recovered from Jared Goff. Like you said, they rattled him early. And Jordan Love, man, he looked really good. Clearly they found their what I would believe to be their franchise quarterback. So they're going to clearly build around him. And that's what you're looking for in a young quarterback like that, a first-round pick or a guy you actually traded up to get, right? Like they did while Rodgers was still there. And the thing is I think you want to see him have, he's going to struggle at times, but you want to see overall the core of his talent and what he can actually do at the NFL level. And I think he's shown that. He's already displayed that. So the game, listen, it was a good game. Detroit, I thought they could have probably ran the ball a little bit more. They didn't run the ball as much. But they should have. They had good numbers running the ball. But they just didn't run it enough. Of course, they, kind of got behind there. It was a shock. They got shell-shocked. You know what I'm saying? So they had to pass. They had to try to get their way back into the game. But Green Bay's defense, I thought was really, like you said, they played a perfect game, D, but I really would give this credit to the defense. The defense did their thing. Sorry.
And they were actually missing a lot of players.
They were down a lot of players defensively.
The expectation was they were going to get rolled on, but it was actually a pretty competitive game, and then ultimately they got the victory.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Commanders versus the Cowboys.
Why you got to huff and puff though? I don't understand.
Because listen,
a whole lot. Wait till the next segment, though, people. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
full of life, coming alive, and stone. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on? We got Scrap in the building.
Scrap in the building. What up, Scrap?
No. I say this. You guys want to hoist a Lombardi trophy based on bottom feeder teams.
Who's doing that? Nobody hosts anything. That's the media. See, you get caught up in the media.
No. Help media. It's not the media.
Who's hoisting? Who hoists anything?
Did you see
Jerry Jones out there in the middle of the Star trying to host a
So how about
Lombardi
this?
Trophy?
How is it that Dak, when you guys are losing, he comes to the podium in shark skin suits and old but when he wins, now all of a sudden he got swag. He got buttons all the way down. No.
Dak's got
he's a terrible dresser. Let's be honest. Let's be clear. He's not. He's not a great dresser. So all of a sudden now he has
I beg to
Bowery Boys hat flipped up and Bronx tail hat on and all of a sudden he got
that's the
chains
hat.
on.
Those are the hats. That's what they wear.
No, it looks great, but where'd that come from? Now that you're beating up on bottom feeder teams, you're getting confident. Now you have a stylist.
In Levi Stadium, he had a nice fit on. Listen, D, this is right again. Everybody, you're right, Scrap. You came in just in time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, eat a turkey leg and watch this broadcast.
No, he's saying it's disrespectful. Right? Exactly. What? It's disrespectful that he's eating a turkey. Like he would never. Where was Where was his hunger
Why
when
can't
he
be
played
confident?
us?
But why can't? You know what I love what Dak said last week? You know what I love what he said at the post game after we beat the Carolina Panthers? You know what he said? He said beating teams that are inferior to you. That's right. I'm glad Dak is changing his vernacular. He's changing his language. He's changing his mindset and his perspective. I love.
And you know what he said? You know what he said after we played them?
They're not teams that are on their level. They need to beat them. So it's not wrong with that. He's just but see, it's only.
Do you know what he said? Do you know what he said after he played us? I didn't see it coming. He said, remember, I didn't see it coming.
Nobody saw it coming.
And Mike McCarthy, I didn't see it coming. How do you not see it coming when a team beats you two years in a row?
I'm going to tell you why. And McCarthy said it in the post game the other day. He said the game with the 49ers, what you see then and what you see now is a contrast of where Dak wanted to be more he wanted to if you will we wanted to ad-lib, he wanted to improvise, he wanted to be able to play more free. In that game against San Francisco, McCarthy said this. He says we were so focused on trying to be exact with everything that we really just ended up not playing football. You know what I'm saying? And we did not come into that game with the looseness that we needed. It was still tight. A team that beat us twice in a row and knocked us out of the playoffs. So there's this mentality where we felt like we had to play a certain kind of way. But let me tell you something. When we see y'all again, and we will, the truth is you're going to see a different kind of Dak. You're going to see a different kind of flow, a different kind of offense. I'm telling you now, it has nothing to do with bad teams or good teams. And I keep telling y'all all the time. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's not. See, this is what I'm trying to say. So y'all don't play cupcake teams. So wait, okay. So now see again. You see, D, you have me. You always do this, and I gotta go back to this. I gotta go back to this now. You see what I'm saying? I try to just flow through these things. Okay, but
are the Commanders a good team? Let me ask you a question. Are the Commanders a good team?
No, they're not. Their defense is bad.
Very bad. And
yes, they got rid of their tackles are the only two guys they got left, Allen and the other dude. That's it. They still do. They do have a solid two tackles up front. Outside of that, the defense is bad.
And so this is my thing. I understand that your job, and when I say your job, the Cowboys' job is to beat whoever is in front of them. We agree on that?
Yes. So what's the problem?
So what I'm saying is if you've played teams that you know ultimately, in order for you to get to your ultimate goal, you're going to have to go through San Francisco and the Eagles.
Team to play a good team.
I understand that. But where is that all that bravado when you play those teams?
He had bravado then. No, Dak always had bravado. Dak was always Dak has always been who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's always been who he is, even in pregame, postgame interviews, whatever it might be. Dak kind of toes the line. He gives you the company line. He's not really a guy that's going to kind of come outside of the box. Like, I think what you're seeing with Dak, though, is you're seeing just Dak playing more freely. And it is translating now into his presentation when he's addressing the media. So, yeah, I mean, it's just more of a confidence. I love what he said against lesser teams, inferior teams like Carolina. He talked about playing an inferior team on Thanksgiving, and that's what it is. And that's what we got. We have to come to that mindset. See, that's the problem.
Beating lesser teams will get you to the dance. Beating lesser teams is important because it gets you to the dance, but it's not enough to get you to your ultimate goal. And maybe, and see, that's the mistake I have.
So when you play teams like Arizona, what are we supposed to do? You played the Giants, you played Arizona, you played the Rams, you play, and you know what are you supposed to do? Y'all lost to Cincinnati. Y'all lost to a good team in Cincinnati, so you didn't beat anybody there. You lost to a backup quarterback against Cleveland. So I don't care about how good their defense was. Okay, y'all still lost to a backup quarterback. Okay, and Cleveland is really still, even though they're still a good team defensively, but they're still not clicking. No one is afraid of Cleveland. Cleveland is not. They're average to good team with a really good defense. That's what they are. They're like the Jets. They're the Jets of the AFC North. That's all you got. They're not a world-beating team. So who did y'all beat? Y'all didn't beat nobody. Minnesota, y'all lost to it without a Justin Jefferson.
So our strength is
and you beat Pittsburgh, who has no offense at all.
Okay, our strength of schedule. If we matched up our victories and losses, which one is more impressive to you? Please say the Cowboys.
The only good team you beat was Dallas and Jacksonville, D. Who else did y'all beat? Jacksonville, and Dallas. Those are only 2 teams y'all beat this year.
So
that were
you're saying
formidable
good.
opponents.
You're
Who
saying
else did y'all
good.
beat?
Let me ask you a question. You're saying good based on winning record or based off of last year's playoffs?
No, I'm
because
talking about
we've beaten a lot of teams with winning records. You haven't beat a lot of teams with winning records. So I'm trying to get what your barometer. What are you basing it off?
Okay, but now let's go deeper than the records. Can we look at the team, the composition of the teams too, and then play and the type of team that you played? You beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a winning record, but is Pittsburgh really a good team, D? Are they really a good team? That team has been out.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
Offensively, they have not even accumulated more yards offensively than any of the teams that they even beat. They go out there and get 10 total offensive yards and they still win.
Is that a testament to how good the team is?
That's a bad D. Yes, it is. It's a testament of how bad the team is. So you can't go and say, we just beat teams with winning records and y'all beat teams with bad records. Well, we beat the teams that are bad, which we should. But in contrast to what the 49ers have done, if you think about it, D, y'all haven't beaten anybody that's really great. Who did y'all outside of Dallas and outside of Jacksonville? Who else did y'all beat? Y'all lost to Cincinnati at home.
So let me ask you a question.
That's a Super Bowl. That's an AFC Championship team.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Right now, as we speak, is the Cowboys' resume this season more impressive than the 49ers? I'm asking you. It's just a simple yes or no.
No, I don't think y'all's is as impressive. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. Because y'all's is no different than ours. Okay. So how is it more impressive? Y'all didn't beat nobody else, D. Y'all didn't beat anybody else. Who have y'all? Okay. Who have y'all really beaten? You say Dallas hasn't beaten anybody, but who has the 49ers beat? Think about it. Who have they beat?
Who have you guys beat?
Only us. You only beat 2 teams.
But who? All right. So explain who you've beaten.
We've beaten the teams that we're supposed to beat.
Why you?
We lost to 2.
Wait a minute. If we only beat
opponents.
Look at that clown show. Whenever you do that, it becomes a parade. It's a clown show. Thanksgiving Day parade in Macy's has already taken place. I want to just answer my question. Since we only beat 2 teams,
okay, D.
What teams did you beat?
Okay, we didn't beat the 2 formidable opponents this year that we played that we did not beat.
Remember when you were a kid? Remember when you were a kid and you were asked to do something or stand up and explain a book report or whatever, and you started off with the question? That means you don't really have an answer. When you have to, so the reason that what happened in the show was, just tell me. It should be, the schedule. Just let it fly off. Well, who are the good teams that you beat this year?
We haven't really beaten a lot of good teams this year. I wouldn't consider the Chargers. I wouldn't consider the Chargers a good team. I won't consider the Rams a good team. The Rams is okay. They can beat you. They got a good team. They got some players, obviously, but they're not on the level of the Cowboys.
You just used the Rams as being whipping boys of the NFC West.
They're not a good team.
But now
your division is weak. You only got you don't even have a good team in your division. And the Seahawks, we just talked about the Seahawks.
Okay,
don't try to even make the Seahawks better than what they are, because they're not.
You play them, so we're going to compare, right? We can compare notes, right?
Next week we'll see, and this is when our schedule comes to par, right? We got the Seahawks, we got Philly, Buffalo, and Miami. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see about this good team, bad team thing that everybody loves to bring up. Only with Dallas, though, if nobody else is playing bad teams in the league.
So let me ask you. So what is 2 more than 0?
Yeah,
Let's do simple math. Okay, if we go on resume,
question, yes. To answer
let's
your
go full circle.
Y'all got 2 more wins than us over better teams than what we had.
So it was to include you.
But y'all also lost to some bad teams, though, D, whereas we beat bad teams. So it evens out. That's the point I'm trying to make. It still evens out, because though you beat Dallas and though you beat Jacksonville, you still lost to some bad teams, and you still beat bad teams just the same. So I'm saying it still evens out when it's all said and done. So I mean, it ain't that, like I'm saying, y'all act like this chasm that's so wide and so vast between what the 49ers have done and what Dallas have done. The only thing you can right now brag about is the head-to-head competition. Y'all beat us, smashed us, no doubt, but that wasn't the Dallas team. I don't know what Dallas team that was, but it wasn't the Cowboys we're seeing today. I don't think we'll see.
Can we also say that we are? Can we also say that we have a number 2 seed?
Yeah, but that's now. But right now. That's of now.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to clip that.
You never hear me talk about seeding.
Thank you, Scott.
Only thing you hear me say is that we're going to win the NFC East and the only team standing our way is the 49ers. I don't care about that. Well, see,
okay, so one of them is not going to happen. You're not winning the NFC East. You're not going to win the East.
No, we win the NFC East. We're going to win the NFC East.
I'm going to clip that one too.
Yeah,
these are all clips.
Clip it.
He is giving nothing but
Dallas will win the NFC East.
How?
Y'all don't know what y'all keep. Y'all keep giving it.
You need our help though, right? Do you need our help?
Need your help? No, because they're gonna lose.
So you can win it without us doing what we're gonna do next week.
D, there's so much football left. To win the East, we can win the East without y'all help. We can play. We got another matchup with the Eagles. And the Eagles is going to take an L. The Eagles is going to take an L before they see us again.
They are. Yeah, you're right. Next week. So you need our help.
They're going to take 2 L's because it's going to be an upset to Buffalo, and then y'all going to beat them. So that's what's going to be, and then we're going to beat them, and it's going to be a tied situation here, but we're going to end up having the okay. I mean, look, I just want y'all to beat them. Just beat them. But I still think Dallas can still prevail. Somewhere along the line, it's going to come out with Dallas is going to win this. Whether y'all beat them or not, we'll still come out.
So just all you have to do is ask. Just say, can you beat them, please? And I'll make the phone call. We'll make it happen. I mean, you need us. Just say you need us. If you need us, just say it.
I don't know. I don't. We don't.
It is impossible, based on the lead that they have. It is impossible for you to win the NFC East without our help. It's cool. We'll help you guys. We wanted some get back ourselves, so we'll do it for you. But please show some respect, show some deference to us. Okay,
right?
You
need giving honor too,
right? Oh man, I don't have to make the call. They already know. Fred Warner already did a shout out. You got the Birds and next. Now, at the end of this 5-game streak. At the end of this 5 games, I think we're going to be a little bird out because we got 5 birds we got to play, and so I mean you know that Thanksgiving there's a shelf life to it, right? So you got to really kind of knock it out. But like on the 3rd or 4th day, I mean you have the turkey, you have leftovers the next day, you might have turkey sandwiches, whatever. But soon it starts getting like you start looking at that turkey, like come time for like garbage day, when they pick up garbage, you're like, all right, enough. We done had every part. We're going to get sick of turkey. We're going to get sick of birds. We already ate seagull. We're going to have, we're going to have a eagle and they're an endangered species. So we really have to be careful. We might put them into extinction. We might next week, we may handle business and they might become extinct because they're eagles.
Y'all gonna be eagles.
Definitely. And can I just say this?
Yeah.
Because we kind of went into the Cowboys Commanders. Although Sam Howell, shout out to Sam Howell, who threw for 300 yards on you guys.
The first one ever to do it. The first one this year to do it. And Samuels, who got 100 yards. He's the first receiver to get 100 yards on us on the nose, too. On the nose.
The first time it happened is the reason why it happened is because you played us at home. If you had played us at Dallas, Purdy would have thrown for 300 yards on you guys. No way, it would have happened.
No way. No, he hasn't thrown 300 yards against Dallas at all in the 2 games he's played against the Cowboys. He didn't have a great game against Dallas in the playoffs last year. And indeed, the game was a blowout. It wasn't really much to do. Like Dallas, I really honestly, I'm not taking away from y'all's win. Y'all dominated, no doubt. Yeah. I'm not going to take away.
Dominated and defeat.
That team was not the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know where they were mentally. I don't know what was in their heads. I don't know what mindset. McCarthy did not have them guys ready. They were not prepared. I blame that more on the coaching than anything else. Yes, the Jordan look. Yes, and that is exactly what it is, bro. Yeah. That's
the
it.
Only bird we're eating is we're gonna beat the Ravens too. We're gonna beat everybody. We're beating them. Quote. Yeah, we're going to. We're gonna be birded out.
That game is. Y'all played it, and that's in Levi. Okay. Yeah, y'all in Levi for that one. So, I don't know, D. Yeah. Well, look, y'all pounded out. Look, quickly with Dallas, it was a game. We didn't really got to discuss much of the Cowboy Commanders game. Good win. Dallas is going to win. And I just want to say this to you and Scrap, since Scrap is on here, okay? Look, I just want to let y'all both know, just as a man of the cloth, I forgive you both. I understand, Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, right? Sometimes we do things and we don't always understand when we're driven by our emotions. Sometimes
we know in part and testify.
Yeah, we only know in part, right. and we pick our picks in part. But then after Sunday comes, then that's what you pick. has gone away. Okay, so you and Scrap, y'all was going to just say, no, yeah, Dallas is going to win. But then I guess I did something to y'all. I don't know what it is. I said something in last week's segment, and boom, you guys just got so emotional, man. Y'all just said the Commanders going to blow y'all out. That's it, everybody. And Scary Terry, he's going to have, 40 receptions. And I mean,
if you don't have, listen, but the quarterback needs to be protected. I mean, listen,
the most
Washington
quarterback in the league. I mean, how did
y'all
for a reason?
And then they get rid of Jack Del Rio as they're gonna clean house.
Oh,
now definitely. The only thing is I think, and I hope this doesn't happen, but Eric Bieniemy is still gonna be on the outside looking in once again. He's gonna be on the outside looking in, and if they're saying that this is what the suggestion is based on other commentators, they're saying because they haven't fired Ron Rivera, they're not going to give Eric Bieniemy a fair shot at the head coaching position. They should have fired him. If they were going to fire and clean house, ultimately, give Eric Bieniemy a fair shot to look at the game, to actually coach, and then make their decision. But they're saying they get rid of Jack Del Rio, but Jack Del Rio is not the problem, right? The team is decimated. You got rid of Chase Young. You got rid of the dude that you sent to Chicago. So it's, I mean, Sweat, right. Yeah. So why at this point, now the question is, I think Eric Bieniemy as an offensive coordinator has done a fantastic job. Given what he has, that offense is roaring. And I think that Kansas City could have used him. I mean, say what you want, Andy Reid. Maybe Andy Reid is getting too much credit. He's a great coach, but they took an L, right? They took an L off of they just don't.
I mean, the receivers dropped balls. I don't know if it had anything to do with the play calling. It was just the receivers dropped the balls. I mean, Andy Reid is still that dude. I still think he's still the mastermind behind the success we see in Kansas City. Not to take away from Eric Bieniemy, but I think it's still more Reid. The problem with Bieniemy is he don't run the ball enough. You got good backs, and he doesn't run the ball. I mean, Robinson is almost averaging 5 yards a carry, but he likes to pass. He's pass happy. I guess he thinks Howell is Mahomes, so he just likes to keep throwing the ball. He likes to air it out. That's his thing. I mean, and that's the problem with him.
Howell's leading and passing, right? I mean,
they're losing. Yeah, what difference is there?
But that's more of as we say, you do need a defense to be able to stop. Like, look at how good the Jets are, right? Defensively.
Yeah.
If you have a short field and it's 3 and outs and your defensive players are just pretty much having enough time to sit down, take one shot of Gatorade and get right back in, you're not going to win. Like, at the end of the game.
Defense is offense, always, 14. I don't care anybody say. Best defense is offense. Yeah.
And look at, and I think we're about to bring in our guest, Corey, but even the Dolphins game, they quit at the end of the game because it was like, Boyle was doing absolutely nothing.
He was bad.
So it was. They're in a bad position. They're in a bad state. But
that's their fault. You know what? But that's the problem with the Jets. The most valuable spot on any team is the backup quarterback. If you don't have a backup quarterback, then you're done, right? You saw what happened in the NFC Championship game. We see it all throughout the league. Look at the Steelers, right? Bad situation. They thought Pickett was going to be the answer to Roethlisberger, right? Mm-hmm. It's bad. The Jets should have been able, and the Daniel Hackett is a horrible OC because he's not calling plays. And I agree with Dan Orlovsky on this, that they don't call plays that fit his strength. You know what I'm trying to say? Right. And that's the problem with him. You got to call plays that fit the strength. They poured everything into Aaron Rodgers, but you didn't leave room for. You got to imagine, okay, this is a 39-year-old quarterback. This guy could get hurt. What if he misses a couple of games? Like, as if they didn't give any thought to that. Like, that's poor planning. That's on the GM, the owners. That's on the brass. That's on Saleh. That's on everybody.
That's because that's because it's in the New York market, and they were more concerned with making a splash signing than building a team that would be able to withstand and make it deep in the playoffs. They were just so excited that, and to his credit, I'll say this. Aaron Rodgers, first of all, he's not coming back. He wasn't coming back even if they had a winning record, but he is smart enough to know that the quarterback play behind him wasn't going to be good enough for them to make it to the playoffs anyway. So that whole promise of, I'm feeling good and I'm jogging and now I'm doing hopscotch this week and I'll be ready. That's all because once they're mathematically eliminated, then it's going to be like, why come back? But he never was going to come back this season. So I don't care if I don't care what type of, if they used fishing wire, I don't care what they used to get that leg back together. It wasn't going to be something at his age, even if he rehabbed really, really hard, it would be tough to come back this season. So they're going to make a push for Devontae, which I think they should.
Raiders ain't going to trade him, though. Raiders ain't going to trade him. They're not going to do it. And if you're the Jets, I would not. I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know. It's too much coddling with Rodgers. Again, Lazard, right? They paid him $44 million. He was a healthy scratch yesterday. Healthy scratch. Trash.
Well, all of the players that he bought. Now, one thing about Aaron Rodgers, he's going to hook up his boys. Like
he's going to hook his boys up. But his boys are trash.
Cobb. I don't think Cobb. I don't know what Cobb does.
He brought in Cook too. He didn't play with Cook, but he brought in Cook too. He all the guys he brought. Nathaniel Hackett, trash. Nathaniel Hackett is trash. But that's just his boy. That's
just his boy. He probably hangs out with him. It's his kind of frat, they like to joke around, and so he hooked him up. So think about it. Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron Rodgers sets it up that all of his friends stay employed. He's going to hook it up that he's like, all right, if you want me, you got to bring Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, because if you think about it, Nathaniel Hackett, the only reason why he got the Broncos job is because they thought that Aaron Rodgers was going to the Broncos.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
That's why he got the job. Right. Exactly.
And so, I mean, it's good to have that kind of power where you can determine and kind of hook your boys up. But it's like you see those jokes where, somebody's on their first day on the job when your resume doesn't match what you said and stuff is in turmoil. That's kind of Nathaniel Hackett. Like, he's probably a good locker room guy. He's probably a good rah-rah guy, but he's not a good coach. He's not a good coach. Clearly, we've seen him on different levels, head coach, and now we've seen him in an offensive coordinator position, and he's not measuring up.
He's not at all. Not trash. So the Jets get what they deserve. That's what you get for lack of preparation. Yeah, and you put all your eggs in one basket. But yep,
we got a guest that is our resident Dolphins fan. He's excited about his Dolphins, and I'm interested to see what he says about this victory over the Jets. He's already been on the show several times. We want to welcome to Brooklyn Beards and Ball, Corey. Let's give him a hand.
Corey Sally! What's up, sir?
What's good, fellas?
What's going on?
Yeah. Best believe everything good, fellas. Everything good, man. Just getting over the Thanksgiving holiday. I can't lie. Being the last team to play Friday, I knew I had to win. Cowboys and 49ers winning. I had to. I was the last one, and I know Donald was waiting. Donald had, he had everything lined up for me.
I had all kind of stuff. I had to change all of the. I had all the props, all the.
He was dotting everything. He had all of me lined up, ready to send into the atmosphere. Yeah, he was ready. I definitely, and I thought about that. You know what I'm saying? As Tua threw that pick six, Donald definitely crossed my mind. Like, oh my, I can't do this, man. But
can't do this, right?
It's a good win. You know what I'm saying? I feel like playing the Jets always tough. Especially even last year when we went up there, they blew us out. Last year when we went up there, so it's never an easy game going up there to New York. But Dolphin fans showed out, and I'm pretty I'm impressed on how we won. Not being that we won, but how we won. We handled them. So I mean, a team like the Jets, great defense. The quarterback situation, I thought they would have been better with your boy back there, Zach back there instead. He played pretty decent against us last year when he did play us. So I was happy to see that quarterback change just in time. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm impressed with the W. I feel for Jaden Phillips. That's a big loss. That's going to hurt us, in the long run. We got we got Agba and Van Ginkel. They can cover the role, but Phillips was just playing outstanding ball the last month, and that's going to hurt. But I think we'll be okay. Injuries part of the game. Everybody going through them. So
Don't you have someone else that got injured also? There was somebody
else. Well, Javon Holland,
Holland
had that, the one who took back the pick 6. He had an issue also, knee, but apparently he was okay, they said, in the locker room. He jogged, ran off the field at the end, even did interviews after the game. So most of the time, if it's something serious, the team doesn't even let the players talk to the media because they know they're going to get drilled with questions about the injury. So for the most part, he must have been good to go. And, just talking on this schedule thing, fellas, man, I think we've watched in our lifetime, we've had to watch what? Maybe, let me see, over maybe almost 5,000 football games. Maybe watched, maybe more than that. Yeah. So, I mean, we've seen it all. I mean, the schedule thing is you play who you play. I mean, look at the Eagles' only losses against the Jet team we played yesterday. You got certain teams, when you go in their building, they riled up, they're going to bring their energy. And if you don't match it early on, you're going to put yourself in a game where it's going to be close down the stretch, and any mistake, it can go either way. You got to play who on your schedule. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, now, like I say, I'm a realist first. You know what I'm saying? And I have to admit, the 49ers, they're a dominant team. You know what I'm saying? They're very, very physical, and that's one thing that gives them the upper hand over a team like Miami and a team like Dallas, is that they can out physical. The talent, they're out. You may have more talent, but they lay wood. I'm not gonna lie, that team, man. Everybody's throwing shoulders. Everybody's diving to play over. People just die, just throwing themselves everywhere. Very physical team. I hate to see the 49ers, but I mean, I feel good with the win, and I think you just got to beat the weak teams to get to where you got to get, because there's way more weak teams in the NFL than, say, powerhouses, so you got to take it with a grain of salt.
So how do you feel that you match up in the AFC against the teams that you would ultimately have to meet? Because this probably what I need to ask both of you. What is your expectation? Like, what is your desire? Is your desire to just make the playoffs, or is your desire to go to Vegas, have confetti, have it fall on your team, and just enjoy a victory in the Super Bowl? Or are you guys just happy?
We're just
being in the way. I've been in the way a long time. If you just want to be in the way a long time,
let me say this, because I think about that a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I ask myself all the time, is this team honestly can win me a Super Bowl before I leave this earth? You know what I'm saying? I just need one. But this team in particular here, what I see is making the playoffs, win the division, play a home game. And a team I don't want to play at home in the first round is Buffalo. I wouldn't want to see Buffalo coming to Miami for the first round of the playoffs, even though it's in Miami. I feel we can win the game, but I know it's going to be a tough opponent. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be rough, you see? But I always think that, like, these teams that come out of nowhere, that just they peak at the right time. And that's what, I'm sitting back, I'm waiting. I want to say about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the season start. Before the playoffs start, you get certain teams start to peak. You know what I'm saying? And I need to see us play better before we get in the playoffs and make me feel like, okay, I feel this is what my confidence. Now I'm feeling a win in round 2. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But where we're constructed at right now, if we were to lose in the first round, that's what we look like right now. You know what I'm saying? I just have to see. We've got a tough stretch. We've got the Buffalo Cowboys. We've got the Ravens. We play the Ravens also, and those are 3 tough games. So and Baltimore at that.
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be cold. It's definitely gonna be cold. I think that's how really. We got Washington next week. That's
in Washington.
That's in Washington. Yeah, so you may get a little difficult weather there, but as far as Baltimore, you may face that may be the coldest game. That's the only one I think we got left on our schedule as far as in the cold.
So let me ask you. I know what Rodney's answer is going to be. He's not worried about the Eagles. His biggest concern is the 49ers. At the AFC level, who is the team?
My biggest concern.
Yeah.
My biggest concern, for some reason, Don, Buffalo still scares me. I just don't know what it is. It's a team. They're the type of team that they'll just get hot right before they get in. Their team. I mean, the Chiefs.
I thought you were going to say the Ravens. I thought you were going to say the Ravens.
No. The reason with the Ravens, I don't fear because I do like our matchup against them. I like the way we match up against the Ravens as a team. See, we can score. We can score with anybody, but it's Buffalo's front four that scares me the most when we play them. You know what I'm saying? They can dominate the line of scrimmage with us. Buffalo's definitely, and then having a quarterback like Josh Allen, I'm scared to death of him. You know, the way the guy that delivers the ball, the passes, Diggs, he's always on point. So I mean, Buffalo just always that team, and that just always that horror of losing to Buffalo, even going back to the Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas days, where I just watched screen after screenplay after screenplay. It's just like, I mean, it could be something mentally wrong. I may be mentally disturbed. I mean, Buffalo just scares me. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Me and Rod used to watch the games. They come to screenplay, and that's all they would do down the whole field. Yeah.
Used to kill y'all.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say Buffalo, and then maybe Kansas City, and then the Ravens.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Kansas City's defense is what their defense is definitely, man. I wish the Chiefs had the defense of 3 years ago. This defense here, man, they lights out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Spagnuolo is definitely the guy. He don't get enough credit. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely that guy.
Yeah.
I would think,
no doubt.
I would think that you would say, I'm going to be honest. To me, and I'm going to give my opinion on this. To me, I think the biggest threat to the AFC, to the Chiefs, right? We're basing it off of the Chiefs. They're reigning champs. Basing it off of that, I think it has to be the Ravens. I think the way that they are playing defense, right? I mean, they're known for their defense, but from an offensive standpoint, even losing Mark Andrews, I think offensively, it's big, but I think that they have a way to, I mean, because if you think about it, they've been winning, right? And Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten like really revved up and started.
No, he hasn't.
When he starts that's a whole nother level. So you can't really double their receivers. Zay Flowers is balling out. I mean, I know Odell Beckham has a shoulder issue, but I think that is a dimension that maybe they're holding off until they really need to do it in the playoffs. But I definitely think, because I'll say this, Kelce is of a certain age, right? He's 34, 35, right? They haven't invested enough in wide receivers. And I know that Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the league. But I just don't think they have enough with the competition of the AFC. I don't think that they'll be able to keep up. Their defense, once again, defense is able to keep it honest. And they have obviously a good offense with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. But I think outside of that, if you bracket Travis Kelce and you kind of spy Patrick Mahomes, do you trust the other receivers to make the plays that they need in order to, I think it's going to be tough for Kansas City. It's not impossible, but I think it's going to be very tough. So in my opinion, it would be Dolphins. If I'm not putting them in order, because right now I would think the Ravens is the best team in the AFC based on what I see. But if the biggest threat to the Dolphins would be the Ravens, it would be Jacksonville, and then it would be Kansas City, in my opinion, because offensively, if you think about Jacksonville, they can score, right? And they have a really good defense. You have enough reliable receivers, reliable running back, ETN. Of course, you have Calvin Ridley. You have Zay Jones. You have enough on the offensive end. And then the defense, their defense is top 5. So you're going to have a balance. I think that the scales are tipping too much to Kansas City's defense, right? They are carrying them. And I think Patrick Mahomes can only do but so much. Excuse me, my voice is going out. He can only do but so much. It's a little bit of that Seahawk. There's a Seahawk bone You know, I need a piece of bread because there's a Seahawk bone that's still there. I got to kind of get it out. But ultimately, I think Patrick Mahomes can only do but so much. A great quarterback can only do but so much. He'll come out of the pocket. He'll do the off schedule plays. He'll be able to throw it downfield. But if those receivers are not reliable enough to catch it, there's nothing you can do about it. What do you guys say?
Good points. I mean, you're right. I mean, that's definitely some good points. Definitely. The Ravens is there, but see, the thing with Ravens that scare me, they get into offensive flunks too throughout the game. Though it's like they can go up on you big, but they're gonna let you back in the game also. You know what I'm saying? So they're not, that's their offense. And then I feel like with Andrews going down, Jackson Fontaine, he's very good throwing down the middle of the field. Like he's not really an outside thrower to the sideline. So he's going to have to step his game up with no Andrews there because, being able to, Andrew takes up a lot of space in the middle and Jackson's comfortable throwing the ball down the middle. Now he's going to be forced to throw it to the perimeter more. That's not the strength of his game. But you're right, Donald, like he hasn't really ran as much, as he's seen in the past. They do have good running backs back there that can hold a load. But, once again, like I say, their track record has been to go up big and kind of get in the offensive stupor and have teams come back, get back in on the game with them. And then when it comes time to make a big play in a passing game, you know what I'm saying? Lamar most of the time has come up short. And, I've seen some games I've seen him playing his deep ball. He's been off on a few of his deep balls, not as accurate on his deep passes down the field, going 40, 50 yards down the field. But, they're definitely and I don't think Kansas City and Baltimore plays each other this year, do they? I'm not sure if they play each other this year. That would be a good matchup to kind of determine where them two teams would stand at as far as meeting off later on down the line. But Jacksonville, I don't know. They're just there. Like, I mean, I would say we're slightly better than them. And it's funny you mentioned, Donald, I got to give you credit yesterday for what you said about the Thanksgiving, when you said the Lions were the Midwest Dolphins. And I seen the text and I paused on it for a second. I said, this guy is actually, you're correct. You know what I'm saying? We play the same, got the same identity, not the same identity, but the same type of way to play tough nose defense, to score points, and definitely hit that one in the nose yesterday.
Appreciate it. So let's discuss the rest of all of us feel good because we're all winners this week. Definitely. So it's cool. Sunday, and listen, church, sit back and then it ain't really no pressure, ain't no nothing. We ain't even sweating nothing, right? No. So the good thing about it is we all get, quote unquote, a mini bye, right? You get a little extra rest because you had the game early on, which if there's any issues, anybody needs to get extra rest. For us, we have to travel to Philadelphia. So, the players will have the next couple of days off, be able to enjoy post-Thanksgiving with their families. And then, make that trip to Philadelphia, which should be that's going to be a good game. That's going to be an epic game.
What is that? The 4:30 Sunday game next week?
Yeah. Okay. It really should be. It should have been the evening game. It should have been. And maybe they'll flex it. I don't know if they'll flex it. It might be too late.
I don't think they got too much. Yeah, it may be too late for that. I think
it might be too late to flex it.
2 weeks out. Yeah, because who got the Sunday night? That's Sunday night there. Who plays Sunday night?
Sunday night. This Sunday night?
No, next Sunday. That's next Sunday night. This should be.
I think it's a decent game, but not as good as ours.
Not as good. Yeah, because
it's Green Bay and Kansas City. Green Bay and Kansas City.
That ain't no good. Yeah, they should have flexed us.
That's both flex.
I don't know, son. That game was at home, but yeah, y'all should have definitely had the Sunday night game, though, no doubt.
You don't want us to have no primetime games, right? You don't want
it. It ain't like you're gonna get more viewers in Dallas. I mean, no one does.
What does viewers mean? What are you happy that you have 41.4 million, right?
He got more likes. He got more likes.
Exactly.
He likes the likes.
Like Briggs. Right. Briggs posted in the chat yesterday. the 49er game was the second highest rating game for an evening game on NBC. I said, yo, Briggs, that's NBC, bro. That's NBC just started doing. We added 3 games to the schedule. What, like 2 years ago? I mean, come on, bro. Like NBC, come on, bro. They talking about their channel worldwide. We rule ratings, bro. The Cowboys are the NFL. Without us, nobody makes money. Even owners who can't get wins are making money because of that man Jerry. The Cowboys rule ratings, bro. Everybody watches us. So that I told Breston Briggs, what is this? You and Don, man, y'all love to, do you know what D love to brag about stats like Don Purdy? He'd be like, Purdy is the first player who's ever had in the fourth quarter after 6:10 West PST time.
So let me ask you a question.
With a black shoe on, the first player ever
in the last 3 games. In the last 3 games, bro. In the last 3 games, 15 sacks. Is that something? Is that impressive or no?
49ers have had 15 sacks.
49ers really in the last 3 games have had 15 sacks. Is that a good stat? Is that impressive or no?
That's good. I think that's good. In the last 3 games,
I know we're not far behind that. I know we're not far behind it. Where you at overall though in sacks? Can we check to see who's overall?
Yeah, you guys are listen. Let me see. I expect the Cowboys and the Dolphins to beat us in because you ain't played nobody. So if you want to play DeVito, if we had a lineup of DeVito, Boyle.
Meanwhile, y'all lost to bad teams. I was telling D this earlier before you got off, Corey. D loves to keep bringing up bad teams, like as if
he loves the 49
and 49, and y'all lost to bad teams.
Yeah. Can you also say
your whole division is trash, Donald?
Right? Can you also say what came out in the rinse? Right? It wasn't in the wash, but it came out in the rinse. What did we come up with? When I asked him, he said that.
I said he beat 2 superior teams so far this year.
And how many have you beat?
Dallas is 0-2 against the 49ers and the Eagles, and they've beaten 2 quality teams, right?
And how many quality teams have you beaten?
We haven't really beaten a lot of quality teams, but y'all lost the bad teams. So that's I told you, it evens out.
It's 2 more than 0. It's 2 more than 0. I'm just wondering.
Right, but it's getting washed.
Now it's Sally. Now Corey. Fins up. Who did you guys beat?
Donald, this is what
you got it. Okay, got it.
So you we play who was on the schedule. That's it. That's what
we do. Yo. Listen.
That's what go. When it always comes down to that. When I ask you guys, we didn't beat anybody, but we beat 2 quality teams. And
you lost the bad teams too, so it fails.
But the strength of schedule, if we compare who we have played, right, and how we have played those teams compared to both of your teams, obviously the 49ers resume this season is more impressive. Now, point differentials, you guys you might blow out a team and have a 200 to 50 point differential, the Cowboys, but you didn't play anybody. None of those teams will be seen in the playoffs.
Y'all ain't playing anybody either, though. Y'all schedule is way weaker than Dallas's
schedule.
It's way weaker
than
Dallas.
Like I said, Don, you probably, what do you have? Like 3 dominant teams? It's not that many dominant teams. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, this is not like, let me see. Maybe the NBA got more than the NFL.
This whole year. That's it. The hardest teams, and I'll include Jacksonville in there. Because y'all played the AFC North this year. Y'all got Baltimore is the only team out of that division, right? Y'all lost to Cincinnati.
And you know what's funny? Cincinnati, and I knew they was gonna win that game because they needed it. They had to have it to get back in the racing. I knew y'all was losing that game. You know what I'm saying? But that's just like what I'm saying. It's like
Cleveland, and you haven't beaten anybody else outside of Dallas and Philly who was on your schedule, outside of your division and other NFC opponents. Y'all have a weak schedule, son. And y'all lost a bad team. Y'all really shouldn't have lost no games this year, if the truth be told.
Donald, so what do you say next week?
Lost no games, you said?
If when you think about the bad teams y'all lost to, you lost to a Justin Jefferson Vikings team. You lost to a backup PJ Walker in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like that's y'all took some bad L's.
Yeah, number one defense. Like, okay, got it. We lost those games.
Yeah, but the Cleveland's not. But Cleveland is really, again, like I told you before.
Nah.
Cleveland is not a world-beating team. They got a good defense, but they're trash offensively.
We lost all those games, and we lost the trash game. Can you guys please? And I don't have it in front of me. Can you guys please tell me the seeding currently? I don't have the paper. I have papers all over.
Well, Miami's actually number 1.
Number 1 seed. Okay. Can you tell me your seeding? We're the Cowboys. Are you a wild card team?
We're 5th seed right now.
So that's wild card, right?
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm saying only because
we're not. Is a wild card or not?
It's a wild card. It's only because we're going to win the NFC East because there's still a lot of football left. See, that's what I'm saying. Who cares about seeding when there's 7 more games left to play? Like, seeding is immaterial right now. That's going to change.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Every week.
And I hate the NFL got rid of the top 2 teams get the bye week. I hate the one team getting the bye week. So I mean, it's like you guarantee you'll get that one.
We're gonna get the bye. We're gonna get the bye for sure. This ain't fantasy football. We're gonna get the bye.
You look.
And the Saints is going to be anybody who wins the NFC South is going to be better than Dallas because they win there. That's a trash division. They're going to win that division.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
you lose next week, you're not getting the bye.
Put it in context. You got to put it in context. It doesn't.
We're not losing next week. Okay. So let me just say this.
No, they're going to beat the Eagles.
This is what you have to figure out.
Because Rodney need them to. Yeah.
Well, of course.
I think the 49ers are the better team, though.
Thank you.
I do think the 49ers are the better team, though.
And this is your brother. This is your brother. Naturally, this is your brother, and he is speaking truth.
I'm gonna be honest.
And I told him, just say it.
No.
Can the 49ers, can you help us out, please?
Yeah, you can help us out. I mean, the Niners can still lose some more games.
Yes,
but it would be good to see you beat them. Yeah, it would be good to see you beat them. Yeah.
Because what you want to do is
I just want y'all to beat them because last year, I feel like a healthy Niner team is a team that is really hard to beat. A healthy Niner team, when the Niners are 100% healthy, that's a team that's really hard.
Do you see what that pass rush is now? Do
you see? We lead the league in pressures. And let me see who's leading the league.
Yes, what's the sack situation look like? Because I know we had 7 yesterday.
So let's base it off of this.
We had half of your 15 in one game yesterday. So just put that out.
I mean, we had 6 on Thursday.
We had 7. All right.
Okay, so it's boiled, which it's either a pot boiling, it might be.
Okay, so the Ravens got 44
boil. I'm trying. It is a plague in the Bible. You have boils.
Playing Gina. I don't care. I see Trent Dilfer win a Super Bowl. That's all I know. Anything.
Well, but they had Jamal Lewis at that time too. So
they had pieces around. Yeah, but talking about the quarterback, he was a trash quarterback. And he had pieces around him. A quarterback is a quarterback, man.
But that was a real good. To me, that was an all-time great defense. Like that's another thing I think we got to put in perspective too. Like those are all that team, Tampa Bay, the Bears of '86, the Steelers in the '70s. Those are what you call real defense. Not people saying, they got a great. Nobody has a great defense. There's no such team right now, even right now, that's a great defense.
Yeah, I have not great. These defenses, they're not. I mean, and a lot of that got to do with the change in the calls.
It does. But they're not. They're not
it's definitely
not.
These are
all good defense. They're not. These not the '86 Bears and the 2000 Ravens and and the 2004 Bucks. Like that's those are what you call from top to bottom. Those defenses had no weaknesses whatsoever. None at all.
I appreciate that. You see that, David?
Yeah, we did see that.
That's perfect. No. Let's talk about it for a second. Don't rush through it. They are not proven against top tier teams.
Who?
They're not. Cowboys and Dolphins.
No, that's facts.
We still got more teams to play. Yeah, but we still got more teams to play.
That's facts. As of today, that's true. That is true. I can't argue that. I told you that, Donald, when we lost them games back to back.
I appreciate. Now, I'm gonna say this. I do appreciate Corey being honest about his team. You, Rod, on the other hand, you say you're a realist, but you are delusional. And you're falling into the trap. Yes, you're falling into the trap of the rest of the Cowboys. The rest of the Cowboy fans that don't see fat is greasy. You really, you're not seeing the truth.
The truth is, because you know what it is, D, you don't put nothing in context. You just throw everything out there in a vacuum. You got to put it in context. You got to understand. Again, y'all beat 2 teams that were good. We lost to 2 teams that were good. But then again, y'all lost to bad teams. But then you fault us for beating bad teams. So I'm saying you can't have it both ways.
So let me tell you what the tiebreaker is. Are you going to see those bad teams in the playoffs?
No, we're not. But we can beat good
teams in
the
that
playoffs.
is the tiebreaker. That is the tiebreaker.
We got our tough part of the schedule now really start to hit the stride, right? Because we got Seattle, we got Miami, we got Buffalo, we got the Eagles. So we got teams coming up right now, and we're going to win some of those games. We're going to win some of those games. We're not going to lose to good teams. You know, when it's all said and done, there will be some good teams that we're going to beat. And the Eagles will be one of those teams that we will beat. We will definitely beat one of those teams. No question. And we'll beat Seattle, and we'll see how Buffalo I'm a little scary about because, again, Josh Allen, all the stuff that Corey said, I'm not going to rehash all that, but like Corey, just pretty much what Corey was saying. Buffalo's a very dangerous team. Regardless of what the media say, everybody want to jump on Josh Allen, but he's still a good quarterback, and he can still beat you either way.
And even with all of that dysfunction, they potentially can beat you guys. Because there's a lot of dysfunction in Buffalo. And I think they still have a great chance of beating you guys.
They can. No, they very well could. They very well could, but there will be. But you know what will happen, though, Corey? When we beat Buffalo, he'll come up with some excuse to say, "No, Buffalo is not really that."
Buffalo is not a good team. Yeah, that's what we're gonna hear.
No. I will say, honestly, I will say what I always say about Buffalo. They need a run game. No, I'm consistent with this. Until they have a run game.
They don't
but if
run
Dallas
enough.
beats them, is that a quality team we beat them?
Absolutely.
So Buffalo. So if Buffalo is, just say they're 7-7 when Dallas plays them, or they're under a game under 500, is that still considered a good win?
Yeah, it'll be a good win. Now I'll say this:
okay.
If it was smart and they had got, let's say, Derrick Henry, or they got a really good, consistent running back instead of I tried to explain to Rod. If you got 3 running backs, you really don't have one. And I know you like that. I know you're not going to agree.
The Eagles don't have a running back. They have
a main. Their main.
Yeah,
back
they use Swift. Swift is really
Swift is their main back.
I got to be honest. I've never seen them use one running back as much as they do Swift this year, though. In previous years,
they used to use
like 2 or 3 backs. Yeah, this year they've been committed to Swift though. Yeah, he's getting a whole lot of.
And there's the difference. You need to have your main running back, and you want to give after CMC gashes a team for 25 or 30 yards. Yeah, give him a blow. Let Elijah Mitchell get in, or when games are already finished. We experience now, even with the Dallas game. Why was Dak Prescott still we are accustomed to resting our starters in the fourth quarter? At that point, Dak was just trying to stat pat, and so he could have the shirt open to the 5th button and show some chains and have his hat flipped up. Showing swagger against lesser opponents.
See how it is
not impressive.
So what team did y'all? First of all, only Dallas is the only team you rested your starters in the fourth quarter. Who did y'all beat and rested? What good team did you rest your starters against other than Dallas?
Jaguars, our starters were rested.
Yeah. Jaguars game was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool.
7th, we rested.
Yeah.
It was rest. Rest is important. It's about rest. There's a season of rest.
Oh, there you. Ain't gonna be no rest next week.
No rest.
Yeah,
well, we don't know that. We don't know that for sure.
I hope y'all are.
That game that's definitely a highlight of next week. I can't wait to see.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the game of games. I'm
gonna
be in the hotel watching.
Because I felt last year. Last year we was cheated. We was cheated last year.
We were. But I'll say this: cheated. I think it is. We're going one game at a time. I think Brock Purdy. I think just the whole offense. I think everybody is focusing on one game at a time, and they're our next opponent. But you got to know, in the back of their minds, they realized that they got over, right? They realized that they didn't play a team at full potential, right? And now I think Purdy having more adversity, because there are a few times that losses are beneficial, and I think that 3-game skid is only helping us, because I would much rather have the 3-game skid in the middle of the season. I don't want to lose at all. But if you're going to lose, and we weren't expecting any team to go undefeated, better to have that 3-game skid in the middle readjust, and then burst straight through all the way to Vegas and have the confetti and crying and everybody say that is what I envision the team doing. So give us we'll take the little 3, but that kind of adversity, because remember, and it's funny that all 3 of us are on the show because we experience history. We were at the game when Brock Purdy first came into the league. And let's just have a moment. Let's just think about that.
Is that something we're going to share with our great grandchildren?
We can. I was there when
Brock Purdy came in.
People say, where were you in September 11th? Where were you at 9/11? Where were you? We were there. We were actually in the building when Brock Purdy, because Garoppolo got hurt, he came in against the Dolphins. I mean, what are the chances?
I tell you what, I will give credit to one dude. He's apparently been listening to the show because I've been calling him out pretty much all year. I gotta say, Ward he's been playing lately. He's been playing the last 2 games.
I tried to tell you.
He's played well. He's been trash, but he's been playing better.
Yeah, he's been playing
trash,
better.
But I have to admit, he's playing better. He definitely stopped Metcalf last night, or night before rather. And last week against Jacksonville, I can't lie. He's been listening to the show. He heard me call him out. You know, he's been hefty bags with extra lining for a minute. But now, you know what I'm saying? He's
but it's listen, it's all good.
He's stepping up. He's playing better. I will admit to that. He's been playing better. So the Niners. Here's the thing with the Niners. I'll say this real quickly. I will toss it back to you, D, wherever you want to take us. But I'm just gonna say I think the Niners again. I've said this in the beginning of the year. That's the only team that stands in that way. You asked about expectations for the Cowboys, and you said it right. It's the Niners. I expect Cowboys to go to the NFC Championship game. That's my expectation. Okay. Of course,
and who are they going to face?
To the 49ers. The 49ers.
Is that your preferred opponent, or
yes,
you just know that's what it's going to be?
I want to play. Now, if we don't play y'all, I'm not going to cry about it. If y'all happen to not make it and we get there, then, it is what it is. I'm gonna go back to we play whoever's in front of us, right? But at the end of the day, the 49ers, in my opinion, still the best team in football. They're the team that we have to beat. The Cowboys have to beat them. I think there's a psychic thing there, and I think right now the way Dallas is playing, albeit against bad teams, lesser opponents, I will admit that. But still, the way we're looking, there's a certain look that we have, this confidence that I see in Dak, and I think there will be a different performance when we play the 49ers in that game. The 49ers, 3-0 against Dallas the last 2 years, or 3 years now, and so they're the team that is in our way. And they're the better team than us. I'm not worried about Philly. Everybody's hyper with Philly. Everybody loves Philly. I'm not worried about Philly. Philly is a good team that's very beatable. They're not as good as everybody advertised. They just know how to win, and they get their little way. Bad calls in the Miami game. Drop balls against Kansas City. I'm trying to say Dallas implodes at the 6-yard line. Like, teams beat themselves when they play against Philly. That's really what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't really nothing that they do. They ain't doing nothing great. So
it's amazing.
Philly only needs they only need 9 yards for a first down. They need to get rid of that shove. I'm sick of it.
No,
man.
I mean they probably will after the season, but they're not going to keep the shove. They're not going to do.
No, they got it. You got no. It's no way you can. This ain't rugby, man.
Son,
this is
every
not
other
rugby.
team can do it. But the thing is, it's not like they're the only ones that can do it. Everybody can do it. They just don't do it as effectively.
It's no way. It's no way you get a head start on a push when people behind you that already knows the snap count. That's not fair football, man. You already picking you pushing him before everybody else. Come on, man. That's not football.
No, we're not.
You got to eliminate that play.
Well,
yeah, listen.
I see your point there, but
stop it. That's all. Stop it. If you don't like it, stop it. I think the competition
you're gonna see it next week, and you're gonna
just keep them in 3rd and long. That's all.
Listen, that's all you got to do, really. You can, just like anything else, you can take away certain plays, right? If you keep them in 3rd and long, there's no tush push. There's no brotherly shove.
Well, 3rd and long don't matter. They could complete 9 yards there, make it 4th and 1, 4th and 2. They're still to do that shove, man. And then now you got teams running out of the shove. Forget about it, man.
I think it's. I think we're gonna be. We're gonna be.
This is the last year I think we'll see it.
Yeah, the competition committee in the offseason is probably going to take it away.
They got to go. They got to go.
But I'm excited about that game. We'll discuss that week 13 slate. But let's talk about the team that we kind of mentioned earlier, the Jags versus the Texans. First of all, let me give a shout out to DeMeco Ryans, a product of the 49ers, fantastic coach. You honestly, Corey, you should really appreciate us a lot more as 49. If not for us, where would the Dolphins be? If we didn't give you the coach with the off-whites that wears off-whites to every game, where would you be?
With the rolled up.
I mean, right, exactly. You got the knickers, you got the knickers on and the off-whites, and his nose was looking like Rudolph yesterday. Where would you be without the 49ers?
I mean, I'm a big McDaniels fan. What can I say, man?
He's actually a really good coach.
He's actually really good coach.
He's too creative. You guys, I'm telling you two right there. Y'all better, let me tell you something. Be careful with your coaches, though. All right, I'm just telling you two, both of you guys. Your coaches love to outsmart. Y'all have to find a way to be the smartest one in the room. And I think y'all complicate stuff and make things more than what it is. You know what I'm saying?
So if we had to put tiers in since we're talking on coaches before we go to Jazz and Texans,
my coach has a Super Bowl ring though, at least. Before you go there, I'm just stepping out in defense. I don't know where you're gonna go. I think you try to come for Mike McCarthy, but Mike McCarthy.
So Mike McCarthy. So let me get this clear. So this is where the delusion it continues. There's a continuation of is he a good coach?
He's won 12 games in a row. I mean, he's won 12. He's won 12 win seasons back to back. And he's having another winning season this year. McCarthy's not a bad coach. He might be a bit dated. Good coach. He may not be the wonderful, but he's a very good coach.
He's a good coach.
Is he top 5? Is he a top 5 coach in the league?
Out of the coaches in the league today? Well, let me see.
No.
Maybe. Yes, I do think he is. If you go through, you got Shanahan, right? McDaniel, because everybody getting on that, putting the S on his name. McDaniel. Okay, think about it. Who else?
You got
Reed.
Andy. You got Reed.
You got Reed. And who else? Who else would you honestly say?
I would take Belichick over him. I would take Mike Tomlin over him. Like, come on, let's be. He's not a top 5 coach. Like, I mean, listen, I know that. What is it that? What is in that mug that you're drinking? He's not a great coach. You didn't like him.
How many Super Bowls?
But you're not gonna. But he's not a trash coach, though. D.
We're not basing it off that.
He's a very good coach, though. He's had a lot of success in this league, and the only reason why he had only losing record he had with Dallas is because of your boy, as we talked about earlier, the nepotism with the friendship, bringing in Mike Nolan as our defensive coordinator, who was the worst thing he could have done. That dude was the trash. Historically, that was the worst defense ever in the history of the NFL with Mike Nolan. So once we fired him and brought in Dan Quinn, life
would you
changed.
say Sean McVay is a better coach than him? Would you say
resume-wise? No, he is not. No, he is not.
We are talking about we can't talk about.
No, I don't think so.
We're not talking about.
Why would he be?
All of his coaching. Obviously, he's been coaching longer than McVay.
He's not. He's not. No. Because what has he accomplished that McCarthy hasn't accomplished? What is it?
As the Cowboys coach. Let's talk as a Cowboys coach.
Oh, as a Cowboys coach?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Why would you add him with the fact of?
But you saying as a Cowboy coach? So as Mike McCarthy as a Cowboy coach, he's not better than Belichick right now? You don't think he's been better than Belichick? No. He hasn't been better than Belichick?
Belichick has been with the Patriots his whole time. Well, no, not the whole time, but he's been with them for 20 years.
You're starting from 2020, from when McCarthy was a Cowboys coach. Are you comparing? Just so let's get the metrics right, so we're clear on the metrics. Okay. Are you comparing Mike McCarthy's coaching tenure with other coaches from the time he became a Cowboys coach? Or are you comparing his body of work as a coach? Okay, so as a Cowboy coach. So you mean to tell me since McCarthy has been a Cowboy coach since 2020, he hasn't been a better coach than Belichick?
Better results. Better results. He's not a better coach.
No, he's a better coach than the last 3 years of what Belichick has done.
The last 3 years, he hasn't been a better coach than Bill Belichick.
Come on, Donald, man. You gotta be a realist.
No. Listen. Listen to what I'm saying. He has better results because he has better players.
Don't say that. No,
he's not a better coach.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We can't do that, man.
Listen, he's not a better coach.
Now we got to kick
it. Yeah, Don, we can't do that.
He's not a better coach.
See, that's on the same level as the schedule. You play with what you play with. That's what you got. That's the Patriots' fault though for the talent that they that's what they like to do. They don't even keep talent when they get it.
Yeah.
So I
they
mean,
don't
it is
want
what
to
it is. You take a gamble. You take a gamble anyway. Yeah, you take a gamble with it anyway.
So we'll make Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's in the top 5. Well, he'll be in the top 5. Cool. My interest is this, and then we'll move on. We'll see how he does when he plays other coaches in the top 5. Because we're gonna see that.
Well, he beat the brakes off Belichick, who you consider to be
cool.
Obviously top 5.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. Harbaugh. So do you think Harbaugh from
and he beat the brakes off of McVay too this
year?
Yeah,
Harbaugh's another one. Harbaugh's definitely Ravens. He is.
John Harbaugh is a very good coach. Yes, I do agree.
Yeah.
So he's top 5 though, right?
And he has an MVP quarterback too, though, mind you. I mean, he's had good players too. He's had good players throughout the year as well, throughout his tenure too. If you want to add that to the
we just said since 2020.
We're
just saying since 2020, since he was a Cowboys.
Well, he's had an MVP quarterback, yeah. So he's good, but he's good. But I'm not taking that away from Harbaugh.
No problem.
Harbaugh is a better.
Some people say that Dak Prescott should be in the MVP discussion, right?
Who?
Some people are saying that, right?
Some people saying
Dak should be in the MVP discussion,
they are saying
right?
that, but I'm not. Yeah, but I don't.
I don't think so.
Dak, and
he doesn't deserve it. What do you mean?
MVP. Mess around, MVP should be DeRon Bland, honestly, because he leads in every major coverage category.
He'll get defensive player of the year. He's not getting MVP. He's not getting MVP.
He may get defensive player of the year.
They won't give it to him. No, they won't.
All right, let's talk about the Jags and the Texans. Jaguars bounce back from a crushing defeat at the hands of the 49ers. The Texans, they're a good, really, really good team. They have a young team. They have a really, really good quarterback. CJ Stroud he's impressive. Each week, even having a bad game, he threw some picks, still found a way to get the W. And so I think that's going to be a below the radar game that should be really, really good. It should be competitive.
Oh yeah, it should be good.
Definitely.
And they're fighting. The Texans are fighting to win that division. How impressive would that be for a first year head coach to win the division in a division that they all but gave to the Jaguars? They thought, hey, this is the Jaguars division to lose. And here comes the Texans that's right in there in the mix. This is going to be a really good game, and it's going to have, seeding implications. What do you guys say?
I like Houston in this game.
Definitely
taking Houston in this one. Yeah. Lawrence, I don't trust.
I'm gonna go with Houston too. Yeah, I don't trust Lawrence. Nah, I don't either.
He's a turnover machine. He turns over a lot.
And that game is in Houston tomorrow, ain't it? I think because Houston won in Jacksonville. I think Houston won in Jacksonville. Yeah, I like Houston's offensive line is coming back. They had a few injuries early on. They're starting to come back now. Yeah. And they've been able to run the ball recently too, so that's helped. Yeah,
Devin Singletary's been doing really well.
Pretty good.
Damian Pierce, I think, is injured. I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, but he's questionable.
Yeah, you got that trio of receivers. You got Noah Brown. Yeah. He used to be a Cowboy, and it just goes to show you someone's trash is someone else's treasure. Noah Brown is balling out. You got, of course, Tank Dell, who's on my fantasy team, is balling out. And then you have Nico Collins. They have a very good young receiving core. They have a good team.
And they got your boy, ex-Cowboys, your boy, too.
Noah Brown. Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz. And Noah Brown.
Yeah.
He's picking up.
Yeah. And so that goes to show you that certain teams just don't know what to do with good players. And when they get an opportunity to go to a real team with a real coach who knows how to really accentuate their skills, they flourish. They need it. And they're right in Texas. So they just had to shake off that Arlington dust and really show themselves as being great players. All right, so we're all on the same page.
Side shot. That's a side shot.
Oh no, I get it.
You got it.
I get it all the time, bro. I get it all the time, bro.
Okay. So we're all on the same thing. We think the Texans are going to ultimately win. We don't have to sweat the scores. Okay, we got the Steelers versus the Bengals. Now, I think the Steelers have proven to do more with less. Now, in my opinion, I think Mitchell Trubisky would be a better quarterback at this point because at least he pushes the ball down the field. And I think that, Pickett is just, he's not that dude.
Yeah, he's trying.
I know it's a hometown kid and a good story. And, he was playing, he was playing on the same field with the Steelers, a local kid, and they want to try to, this was destiny for him to take over, but he's not that dude. So Mike Tomlin needs a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of credit for what he has been able to accomplish with the point differential. They're not producing much offense, yet the defense is keeping them in the game. And ultimately, down the stretch, they find a way to win. So I think the Bengals being compromised in the quarterback position, I think I give the Steelers the edge. What do you guys say?
They just fired their coordinator.
Yeah, they signed Matt Canada.
They just fired their coordinator. That game is in Cincy, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Cincy.
I don't. Man, that's a tough one there, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of leaning towards Cincinnati, man.
I'm taking Jake Brown.
I'm
taking Brown.
Yeah, I'm going with Brown. I mean, even though Pittsburgh has been able to, pick their running game, they've been able to run better and stuff. But like you said,
Jaylen Warren has been.
Yeah, Jaylen Warren has been a guy. But I'm a roll with the. I mean, if you want to call it an upset tomorrow, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati.
And you want
man.
The Steelers?
I think Cincinnati's gonna find a way.
I
actually need the Steelers to lose,
right?
but I mean,
of course you do.
Yeah, but without even a warning for the Dolphins, I just feel like Cincinnati defense. They still got a decent defense, and I think they'll find a way to get the ball into Chase hands tomorrow. No Higgins again tomorrow. I know, so that's another setback. But I think it being this one here, basically with the game being a game in Cincinnati, I'm gonna roll with the Bengals on this one. Low scoring game. I think they'll find a way. And I think tomorrow, this coaching is going to be crucial tomorrow. That's going to be a game plan with the new quarterback for Cincinnati. You don't want to have him doing too much, but
if it's a coaching, I give the edge to the Steelers.
You give it to Tomlin, but I think as far as the game plan for Cincinnati is something they're going to have to install a game plan where you're not putting your quarterback at risk too often. Because I think Cincinnati has a good enough defense where they can flip field position on Pittsburgh, because their offense has been staggering. But, what I'm saying? I think that's going to be a deciding factor in the game. It's, defense and game planning and managing the clock. I think, and them North teams play together. It's always a toss up,
Absolutely.
You don't know what you're going to get.
It's a tough division to
definitely.
They call it black and blue division.
Black and blue for a reason.
Rod, who do you have?
I got the Bengals winning this one.
Okay,
I'm on an island. They couldn't beat the legal team, the three name legal corporation there from last week in Cleveland. So I don't think they're going to beat this. I don't. The Steelers, that is, losing to the Browns. They lost to their 5 name quarterback.
Quarterback.
So, yeah. So
I do.
Thompson, Smith, and Schuster,
Smith,
whatever they are.
Yeah.
I think that's more the reason that I'm going with the Steelers for sure. I think the Steelers is going to rock and roll. Okay, this is, to me, I mean, we've already kind of highlighted the biggest games of Week 12, but this on the Sunday slate is, in my opinion, the biggest game left. Bills versus the Eagles. Now, this is big. Of course, because other teams in the NFC are, we have the Cowboys with their victory. We have the Niners with the victory. The Eagles have to keep winning to keep that number 1 seed. It's not an automatic. Now that the Cowboys are playing better, that they're beating up high school teams. They need to keep pace. And now they're getting into the tough part of their schedule. So they have the 49ers week 13, followed by the Cowboys week 14. So this could be based on what happens with the Bills, because the Bills are, I'm sure, trying to still win the division if possible against the Dolphins. So they're playing for something. This is not, no one's coasting into this game and it's not important. So I'm imagining that the Eagles are favored. I don't know by how many points. I would imagine that it's probably a touchdown or less, right? It's probably anywhere from 7, maybe 4 points. Do you know what the spread is on this game?
It's 3.
Three. I figured 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 points.
About right. 3 about right.
I am putting the Eagles on upset alert. I think that the Bills at this point are going to be the hungrier team. They need the victory more.
They need this.
They need it more. This has nothing to do with week 13. Week 13 is going to take care of itself. Give no care for tomorrow. We don't care about week 13. Week 12 is going to take care of itself. So I think the Bills are going to handle business. Now, the keys to victory, because what we saw was Kansas City, the Eagles' weakness is obviously you can pass on them. You can throw on them. Teams historically, from Sam Howell to Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, not so much.
Cornelius to Corey Sally, everybody.
Yeah. So you can throw on them. Unfortunately, Kansas City, I don't know, Andy Reid coming off a bye. I don't know what he was thinking. He didn't exploit the obvious glaring weakness of the Eagles. So hopefully the Bills do that. Hopefully Josh Allen doesn't try to do too much. He doesn't try to do too much running, but you do need to be balanced. But Kansas City showed that you can run against them. So they did run against them. Maybe that was unexpected. Maybe the Eagles were anticipating that it was going to be a high pass attack, and it wound up being a running attack. So if the Bills can run against them just to keep them honest, and then utilize Gabe Davis and, of course, Stephon Diggs and Kincaid, they have a really good shot. I know they're playing in Philly, and Philly historically is a tough place to play, especially over the last 2 years. But I give them a shot, and I'm putting the Eagles on upset alert. I like the Bills in this matchup. What do you guys say?
I'm a co-sign that one.
Yeah,
I think the team, they need it. They need it more. Kind of like, when Cincinnati won and they won in San Fran when Cincinnati went out there, You feel me, Donald? You understand where you're coming from? I'm pretty sure that has something to do with your decision.
No,
Buffalo, right?
Because with 13, we're gonna handle that. But I know why you want them to win. I realize.
Well, I would want the Bills to lose, but I think they're going to win them all. I think the Bills, like I say, they're the team who they need it more.
Yeah, they need this.
Let's need it more. So I think, and then with the new coordinator, they're motivated. A lot of players, talking about how they enjoyed the new scheme of last week, because they did put up a good amount of points on the Jet team and open things up. I think really what this is going to do, and I think what Buffalo really has, they got to spread the ball around. You know what I'm saying? You can't target Diggs, 8 times on one drive. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work. So, what they're doing now and running the ball, they ran the ball good last week also. So, I'm going to go with the Bills. And I don't really think it's an upset. I don't really think it would be an upset either. I think that's a pretty good game that we're going to see tomorrow.
Well, because Buffalo has a good defense too, guys. Don't forget.
They only give
up 17 points a game, and they only give up 204 yards in the air. So
their pass defense is definitely legit.
Their pass defense is really good. I think it's going to be a problem for what you call it. They gave up 110 yards on the ground. I think if you're Philly, you got to run the ball. So, they kind of, which is what Philly does very well, obviously. So I think they'll definitely try to stick to their strengths in that. But I everything that you guys said, I like Buffalo for the reason.
And then also touching back on with Philly, and tomorrow, I'm telling you now, you better put them prop bets up high, because they're going to target AJ Brown heavy in the first half. You talking about a man who caught one pass? One pass last week. Yeah. What he had, So they're gonna come out tomorrow. Pass. They're gonna try to get AJ Brown the ball, because he's the type of play they want to get him involved early. So you're gonna get distracted.
Yeah, man, that might be.
He's one of the voices.
Yeah, it could be. It very much could be.
It could be.
That's the problem. If you try to force feed a receiver instead of because realistically speaking, the fact that they hit Devontae with that 40-yard pass to pretty much seal the game was the reason they won. That was you got to be able to utilize the players, and if there is an exploit a weakness. And that was the weakness, right? Devontae, they was able to get off. And yeah, he tried to pass it to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, for whatever reason, it was a pass that hit his hands. He dropped it. Nobody is taking the fact that A.J. Brown is the number one receiver. But if you think you're going to get 25 passes thrown at you a game, then probably you need to find another team. And so you can't, if things happen, you can't start chewing the quarterback out on the sideline after every time you don't get the ball.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that I look at with Stephon Diggs. There's a little bit dysfunction there. And we know receivers want the ball, right? But I think that A.J. Brown thing, you can throw your team out of a game based on trying to force feed the diva receiver that complains if they don't get the ball. If you guys are losing and you're not getting the ball, that's one thing. But if you're playing within the system and you're hitting the open receiver or the one who has the most advantageous matchup, then he should just shut up and play. I realized, what was Devontae saying when he had those 6 games of 125 and setting records? Devontae just played his game, right? Mm-hmm. And Devontae is a really, really good receiver. He's fast. He has great hands. His footwork is great, but he's just playing his part. So I think if they do that this week, and if they do that against us, they force feed A.J. Brown and they don't utilize and spread the ball out. Now, of course, there's going to be extra targets because they lost Dallas Goedert. So that's a big loss for them. So you expect them to get an additional 2 or 3 targets a game because their backup tight end is trash. School, whatever it is, he's garbage. So that Dallas Goedert miss and missing him is a big loss. But I think that's a recipe for disaster if every time you feel that you didn't get the ball, you start chewing the quarterback out. That's just
I agree with your point on this though, D. I feel partially. So if you're winning, yes. If you're winning, then you shouldn't have to be force feeding your number one target. If you're winning. But then again, in how you're winning, and then at the end of the day, there's still something to be said about a star receiver. Like, case in point, when CD was hardly getting targeted the way he should have been the first 5 games so of the season, right? And then even with Cooks not being involved in the offense. And it was a lot of issues coming out of Dallas, and the players were upset. After the 49er game, you see CD, he's pouting, he's angry, he's not getting targeted. He had a conversation with Dak during that week. They supposedly had met. They came together, whatever the case may be, met with McCarthy and Schottenheimer. And then that's when CD went on a tear, right? And
was it on the sideline?
No, he was. Because see, what happened was in that 49er game, CD didn't even want to be next to his, to even next to his teammates. He was way on the other side of the bench. He was by himself. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want his body English. That was one thing about CD. He's very moody. Now he can be very moody, and he has very, very temperamental, and so that's his body language could be bad. Same thing with Michael Parsons. Parsons is the same way too. They're very moody guys. The problem is though, you do have to target your guys though. You don't win without targeting your best receiver. I don't care. Don't give me no double team. Don't want to hear that. You scheme him open. You get him involved. You line him up in the slot. You find ways to get picks. You run some crossers. You do whatever you got to do to get your number one receiver open.
Somebody said that before. Somebody said that before. I'm not sure. Somebody on this show was saying that.
Saying what?
9 weeks ago, that if you're a number one receiver, there's no excuse that it is acceptable.
Right, but that's on the scheme. But what I'm saying is that's why the receivers get angry. That's why A.J. Brown and CD and Stephon Diggs, these guys are upset. It's not even really maybe only on the quarterback.
But your team has one. Your team has, in A.J. Brown's case, your team has one loss, and you went on a 5 or 6 game streak of 125 yards. So it's not like all of a sudden your team is starting to take L's because they're going away from you. That's the only problem I have.
No, but when they were on that tear, you saw their offense go another level. Like Philadelphia started to kind of hit their stride a little bit, correct? Because the beginning of the season, first 3-4 games, and particularly lost to the Jets, they still were struggling. They really didn't have their rhythm. You can tell. But once AJ started to become more involved in the offense and got more targets, that's when they started to become a little more formidable. They was more aggressive, and they was really starting to put it on teams because their offense was playing better because of AJ Brown. You got to hit you. Look, there's no reason why your number one guy should not. I'm not saying every pass play goes to him. I'm not saying he should get 25 targets. But your number one receiver should not get less than 9 targets a game. That's my philosophy.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah,
at least 9 at the minimum. Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, 9.
I would say double digits, but I agree.
Yeah.
It's I would say at least 10.
Agree.
And that's what I was saying, you know.
Yeah, Dak went to another level when CD started getting the ball.
Yeah, you got.
Like, well, why didn't you start? I mean, just all you have to do is get him the ball. Stop. I mean, what are you doing? Again, stop being cute, right? You know what I'm saying? You get the ball at Debo, you get the ball. And one play with the 49ers that I hate, son. I don't know why no one can stop this play yet, son. It's the same play. It's the play action over the middle to Ayuk, right in that intermediary lane right there.
It's
a
beautiful.
Ayuk runs that. I mean, it's like, no, why can't nobody stop that, son? He's wide open in the middle of the field. It's the play action.
His footwork is amazing. His footwork is amazing.
Oh my God. That was a good throw, though. I have to admit. It was a good throw in the touchdown.
The throw yesterday, too? Yeah, that was.
That was a good throw.
And that didn't look like a game manager type of pass, right? That was an aggressive offense taking the bull by the horns and getting it, fitting it in. That was a special pass.
Overcome the game management stigma now.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
he was on that. Now I think it's over that. Yeah, Purdy. We'll see. Purdy cat. We'll see. Purdy cat.
Yeah.
We'll see.
One thing I have to admit, I don't know, Donna. Maybe you recall this. I can't. I don't. You watched all the 49er games, but has he ever come back from like a 20-point deficit?
We don't know that yet, Corey. That's why.
Let me tell you why. You know that's. I'm glad you said that because he never will. He never will.
He never will. He never will.
He's never failed us, and he never will.
Never ran, never will. Right.
That's right. It won't happen. That's the reason why. Okay. There's no 20-point.
I can't wait till that day. That it's coming. You know everything.
Well, we know he can't come back on winning.
It's coming.
He didn't come back. He did drive his team against the Cleveland Browns. It's just that Moody missed the field goal.
Of course, yes.
But he didn't look for a pick in the final drive against Minnesota. That was his comeback drive.
He hasn't
had any winning drives.
So I just want to recap and make sure that we're clear on this. Purdy has less interceptions than both of your team's quarterbacks. Just for context, right? Just for context, he has less interceptions than Dak Prescott. And Tua had a pick 6, and Purdy had a pick 6. That he had a pick 6 on Thursday, but still has less interceptions. Tua threw how many interceptions Friday?
He threw 2 yesterday.
Okay,
he threw 2.
So just so we're clear on that, as bad as Purdy looks, and you guys say, "Oh, Purdy looked bad."
But what's the overall stat for quarterback? The most
wins and losses, right?
No,
QBR.
We comparing stats. Yes, QBR. Who has a better quarterback rating? Tua or Purdy?
Between who?
Purdy.
Purdy and Dak has.
I don't know why you brought that up.
I'm talking about for the season. No, I'm talking about for the season. What is it?
I didn't even want to talk about that because
what's the rating? What's the QB? Yeah,
what's the QBR for the season? I got it right here. His QBR.
I didn't even want to bring this stuff up.
Is 75.
I want to say for Purdy.
Yeah, for Purdy, 75.7, and Dak is 75.4. They're the top 2. They have the 2 top QBRs in the league. Purdy and Dak, and they both only have 6 interceptions.
He's after Purdy doesn't. Clearly, he's after number 2. And if we brought up
by 0.3, but go ahead.
Where's Tua at on that list?
Tua has a 59.5 QBR. He has 10 picks and 17, and he's got 22 touchdowns and 10 picks. Okay. And Dak has 23 touchdowns and 6 picks, and Purdy has 19 touchdowns and 6 picks. Same amount of picks as Dak.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna see soon, Donald. We're gonna see soon, and I can't wait. I can't
see you soon, Lally. Yeah, no problem,
fellas. I'm gonna give me some food on the stomach.
Yeah, good. Thanks for joining us.
No,
Ravens Chargers.
Fellas again.
We're gonna go on with the Ravens Chargers.
Y'all gonna go on Ravens Chargers?
You want to give input on the Ravens Chargers?
I'll give a quick input on that. Yeah, we'll give a good quick impact.
All right, so Ravens Chargers. I think the Ravens. I think is I think they're the best team in the AFC currently. I think they have the ability. The fact that they're able to win games and Lamar Jackson hasn't been running, I think that is a secret weapon that perhaps we will see deeper into the season and maybe into the playoffs. I like their chances of ultimately coming out of the AFC. I really think this is not Kansas City's year. I think unless they are able to, those receivers are able to become more dependable. I like the Ravens. I think they have enough on offense and defense, and the fact that Lamar Jackson is a weapon all to himself in the run game. I think they're the most, and so I like the Ravens over the Chargers. They're playing in LA. The Chargers have an outside chance of making the playoffs. They're kind of on the outside looking in, but then they lost Bosa. So that team, I think they're going to just clean house. The coach is gone. There's talk that Belichick is either going to go to Washington or he's going to go to the Chargers as the new head coach. We'll see what happens. And we'll see what happens, what Belichick does when he has a good quarterback again. I mean, because, let's face it, the quarterback in New England is trash. Oh, yeah. And I'm so glad we kind of missed when we took Trey Lance, right? That was a swing and a miss. Maybe time will tell. Maybe it was the fact that our team was ready to win now and we couldn't wait the time to develop him. But I'm sure glad we didn't take Mac Jones. I'm glad we didn't take Mac Jones. Yeah, I'd rather take a swing on Trey Lance and miss than to take Mac Jones. Because Mac Jones, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. So what do you guys say about the Ravens Chargers game?
Ravens.
Ravens. Really, I say that should be an easy win.
I don't know about easy win. Yeah. I don't think easy win.
You know why I say, I like teams, I give teams the edge when they're at home, but that, the Chargers don't have a home crowd. That building's going to be filled with Raven fans tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, they're playing in, they're playing in,
they're playing in LA.
They're playing in LA.
They're playing in LA.
So that's what I'm saying. And Chargers don't have a home. They don't have a fan base.
Oh, you mean a fan base? Yeah, their fan base. Yeah,
their fan base is.
They definitely.
Yeah, so Ravens is Ravens roll. They roll them all. I think that one.
What's the
that's
spread,
the Sunday. Is that the Sunday night game? Is that the Sunday night game too?
No.
Is that what? The spread should be at least about 7, 8 maybe.
So who do we say? The Chargers.
And that's the Sunday night game.
That's the Sunday night game, and they're in San Diego. And the spread D is what is the spread D? 4 -4 Baltimore. They got Baltimore.
Oh, okay. No, it's gonna be under a field goal. Under a field goal. And when you're playing and mess around, and the Chargers may upset them. I'm gonna tell you something.
Mm-hmm. I would love that.
That spread is fishy, given the fact of the way those two teams, their trajectory and how they're playing. That's not enough points. That looks a little fishy.
That is definitely
looks fishy. That should be 6.5 points. That shouldn't be 3.5.
Yeah, at least 6.
Yeah. So that's a little fishy. I'm leaning Chargers now. I'm actually leaning Chargers. If they do lose, if they lose to the Ravens will not cover. They won't cover. I can see this being a big Eckler game. I can see this being a huge Keenan Allen game. They're gonna need somebody else. Yeah, they need one of them other young receivers to step up. Johnson has terrible hands. Johnson. Yeah, his hands are terrible.
Dropped a big pass last week in that Green Bay game.
So
they missing Mike Williams too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's probably they probably gonna move on from him because he gets injured too much.
I'll just say this. Go ahead, D. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick. I know we talked about who has the leading sacks in the NFL. Just real quick by way of teams. So Baltimore leads the league actually with 44 sacks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then Buffalo has 39 sacks. They're number 2. 3 is the Dolphins with 38. and Dallas with 37, and Kansas City with 36. And then coming down the pack, you got Washington with 35, the Chargers with 34, Cleveland with 33 sacks, and then the 49ers with 33 sacks.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So Donald, you let's go over your stat. You had 15 in the last 3 games, right?
Correct.
All right. You know where I'm going with this, right? Okay, so you have 15. So that's what you said. He had 33. So that leaves him. He had 8. He had 18 sacks.
Let's see how we finished. Let's see how we finished.
But you had 8 sacks over.
Let's see how we finished.
What you said?
Let's see how we finished.
Wait.
You want to go over Stan
No.
in the middle of the season.
No. All I want to say is this. I want
to 8 games. You had.
How many do the Dolphins have? How many do the Dolphins have?
Dolphins
have
39,
38, 39.
Hold on, let me pull it back. Oh, I think so. The Dolphins have 38 sacks.
So you literally had.
Who's going to have more sacks at the end of the season? The Dolphins, who have 5 more than
I think
us now?
I think even without Phillips, I still think we would have more sacks than them.
Okay,
even without Phillips there.
Won't happen. We'll see. We'll see how it ends.
Quarterback. He's a Russian. What is he? A backer? What is he?
Who?
Phillips.
Phillips is a DN. DN, linebacker DN. That got hurt yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
so
saw
18 sack, 18. Yeah, it didn't look good.
Nah, he's done for the season. He's done.
Yeah, he's done for the season. Yeah, I seen it. So as soon as he was laying there, I knew it was over.
The knee was going to the sideline, and he was still trying to be in the play. So,
all right, man.
No, I'm saying that's what happened. Now, I mean, I'm not trying to be, grotesque, but I mean, the knee was trying to talk to McDaniel, and he was trying to.
You know what?
Yo, I cannot wait.
Don't wait.
Definitely.
We will.
And the name it, laugh now, cry later. Okay, we definitely.
Well, we've experienced that. I mean, Brock Purdy's arm was flapping around. I mean, so that is part of it. In the game, you experience sometimes, horrific injuries, and I just saw the video, and I mean, it's no surprise we're not on a cliffhanger waiting to see what the results of the test are going to be. He's done for the season, so I mean, he'll be all right.
That's a big loss.
Yeah, we'll be okay. We definitely.
But I like to see at the end of our season, you guys are doing fantastic with your sacks. You guys, kudos. You guys are doing fantastic. We will see who the last team standing is when it's all said and done.
Yeah, we're going to see.
Have 55 sacks. Have 55 sacks and be one and done. You can have 75 sacks. Let me ask you a question, and then we can close the show. Who was the sack leading team last year? Did they win the Super Bowl?
Oh, you talking about the Eagles? Yeah, no, they didn't.
Eagles.
Okay, so does it matter? So does it really matter? We'll see at the end.
But yet, Don'll be the one that'll put in the chat. He'll put in the chat that
the 49ers the what?
Purdy had a perfect game. The first player
he had a
born
perfect game
after December, whose first mother name is Mary.
You sent stuff about Dak Prescott. He had 4 TDs against an elementary school. The first quarterback to throw for 404 TDs against an elementary school. Who cares about that?
We will see. Tell you. Well, listen, Scrap will tell you. Scrap attest to it. I thought I was the only one. Scrap said. Dave also sent a text about Trent Williams, the first player whose last name starts with a W, to be the first player in the history of the game to block one guy with one arm while he's at a 90-degree angle, never done before in the history of NFL. Like, it'll be something stupid, like just stats that don't make no sense. And D is hype over that. You know what I'm saying? Right. It'd be like, I don't understand. It's like
I'm hype about number 2. We're the number 2 seed, and we're going for the number 1 spot. That's what I'm excited about. And I'm excited that neither one of your teams, you don't want to see us, and definitely
I want to see y'all. I want to see y'all. I
want to
see. No, I do, because that's the barometer. That's the rum right there. I want to see y'all. If we beat the 49ers, son, I ain't gonna lie. That's the Super Bowl. We beat anybody we play in the AFC.
Well, we'll have to wait till next year. You should be.
Yeah, you're right. Literally, we would. The 2024.
Yeah, because you would only hope to see us. You would only hope to see us.
No, I want to see y'all. I do believe we can beat y'all. The way we playing right now, yes, I do believe Dallas can beat y'all. You know what I'm saying? Barring any injuries on both sides, Dallas, I think we can. I really think we can. So I'm not worried about it. But I do need y'all to beat the Eagles, though. Just handle your business.
Oh, we're gonna handle
your
that.
business.
We're gonna handle
just
it. We'll help you out. We'll help you guys out.
I
We'll give you a little
appreciate it.
assistance.
Yeah, we need that. Appreciate that.
But in any case, great show, fellas.
Great
Shout
show.
out
Yeah, good
to
job, fella. Good
Kingdom
job.
Creative
Good job,
for
fella.
the production.
Yes,
Shout out to
Creative.
Great job,
Infinite
great job.
Audio, Infinite
job,
Audio
yes.
for the music. Great music.
Great music.
Once
Right.
again, everyone, please like, share, and support
share.
our
Yeah.
Facebook and
Mhm.
YouTube page. Subscribe, hit the bell, get all the notifications every time we put something out. We
Right.
appreciate everyone watching our show. Thanks again for all the comments. We appreciate David and Scrap and anybody else who said anything
we had some
to keep
comments
the
in here.
show going.
Yeah,
We appreciate the comments. At the end of the day, we're going to have a really good show next week when we discuss the big games. And we'll be recapping, of course, the games we discussed today. Hope everyone enjoys their Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy spending time with their family. We appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace.
Peace.